This video is about environmental chemicals and obesity. First, I'm going to tell you general information about obesity. Obesity is a worldwide problem and it has increased significantly in recent decades. Obesity increases the risk of several health diseases, for example type 2 diabetes, breathing problems, heart disease, stroke, etc. 4 million deaths annually are caused by diseases caused by obesity, so it is important to understand which factors cause it and how to prevent and treat it. 1 of 8 people are obese, so a huge number of people suffers from it. What causes obesity? In general, obesity is explained by simplifying it. A person gets too many calories in compared to the number of calories he or she consumes. But is it that simple? The truth is that the causes of obesity are much more complex than that. In addition to eating too much and lack of exercise, susceptibility to obesity is increased by factors such as smoking, stress, sleep disruption, and composition of gut bacteria flow. Causes of obesity is a complex combination of biological, psychosocial, and behavioral factors that together worsen the effects of calorie-rich food and low physical activity. What other factors affect obesity? Obesity has increased dramatically worldwide. It has been thought that it is due to more calorie-rich food, a sedentary lifestyle, and lack of exercise. However, one study compared adult BMI, which means body mass index, in 1988 and 2006 and found that while caloric consumption and caloric intake were the same, BMI has increased by 2.3 kilograms per square meter. And not only human obesity has increased, but animals living near humans have also been noted to have increased in obesity. And it is not only about pets, but also about test animals in laboratories and wild animals living in cities. Obesity in infants has also increased. Infants do not exercise much and they eat until satiation, so increased rate of obesity cannot be explained by that children exercise less and eat more calories than before. So it can be assumed that there are some other factors than calorie intake and lack of exercise that causes the increase the rate in obesity. What are obesogens? There is a hypothesis that there are chemicals in the environment that can increase a person's susceptibility to obesity. Such chemicals are called obesogens. They can increase the susceptibility of the obesity, for example, influencing basal metabolism, promoting calorie storage as fat, changing the sense of appetite and satiety by disturbing the endocrine system. The composition of the gut microbiome influences susceptibility of obesity, and some studies have found that obesogens can affect the gut microbiome. It had not yet been proven that these changes in the microbiome caused by obesogens would increase the risk of obesity, but it is theoretically possible. One of the causes of increased obesity rate in infants may be exposure to an obesogen chemicals before the birth. That can lead to that infant will born with more fat and are more prone to fat accumulation at later age. One study exposed pregnant mice to TBT, which is a well-known obesogen. The offspring of these mice has increased susceptibility to be obese, and the effect continued in their offspring for several generations. And here is the summary. Obesity is generally explained by excessive calorie intake and lack of exercise, but it is much more complex than that. Even though increased calorie intake and sedentary lifestyle are important factors of obesity, they don't fully explain the rise in obesity worldwide. Obesogens are chemicals that increase susceptibility to obesity. They may be one of the explanatory factors as to why the obesity of infants and animals are also increased. The effects of environmental chemicals on obesity is a topic that still needs a lot of research to understand the mechanisms to identify obesogens so that their use can be restricted by policy.